So this time around, there's two questions that I want to answer. And the reason that I want to answer two questions is that I've been getting these questions, or ones very much like these, over and over again. So I want to really deal with them. But also because I really think the answer to the two questions ends up being the same thing. The two questions are, who should I be listening to? And what am I supposed to be thankful for? Because you know you're supposed to be. You know there's all kinds of information that, what do I listen to? These are very, very valid questions. So let's deal with that who do I listen to part first. I get it, no matter where you look, Facebook, the news, whatever, there's all kinds of things going on. So what's right? What should I be listening to? My cousin Larry says there's this other way that the coronavirus was developed by Dr. Ian Malcolm when they were trying to clone dinosaurs. What does it all mean? And I get all of that. But speaking of movies, the thing that keeps coming to mind for me is that scene in Jaws. Have you seen Jaws? You got to see Jaws. That scene where Richard Dreyfuss and Roy Scheider's characters are in front of the billboard, the shark attack billboard, trying to convince the mayor to shut down the beaches. Now, even if you haven't seen the movie, you've probably seen that clip because people have been using it a lot as a way to illustrate what's been going on with Corona and all of that. And I'll let you draw some of your own conclusions, but I want to say there's some really powerful things there. For one thing, as people have pointed out, at the beginning of every disaster movie, every horror movie, there's somebody in power not listening to a scientist. Now, I'm not the first person to say that, but you know the deal. So, of course, I'm going to say, yeah, you ought to listen to the scientists and all of that, but let's get past that. You could also say, stop listening to people that stand to profit monetarily from one point of view or another and start listening to people that are just there for the facts. That's a little bit closer to something powerful. But let me say it this way. That dialogue in front of the billboard is really about one person trying to keep things in their comfort zone, the mayor, versus the other person, Richard Dreyfuss, saying, we've got to change things even if it's uncomfortable for you. That's the thing. Who do I listen to? Well, let me ask you this. Who's taking you out of your comfort zone and asking you to confront something a little bit deeper? Remember that growth is what we're here to do. And growth involves moving past what you're already comfortable with, moving past that little bubble of ego expectations and breaking some new ground. So who should I listen to? Well, think about which point of view causes you to be challenged, causes you to not just do what you want to do because you want to do it, but rather says, what's going to be better for not just you, but for everyone concerned. And I guarantee you, that's going to be the right thing to do. What challenges in the name of a greater good, that's going to be the deal. But that's just part of the answer to these two questions. Because the thing is, what we're learning through all of this is that we are deeply social creatures. Even people who think that they are a rock and or an island or whatever, or a boxer, even those kind of people realize that we kind of need to go to the coffee shop and say hi to the barista. We kind of need that moment in the drive-thru, or that moment where we're at the grocery store, just that moment when you see another car on the road or somebody walking down the street. We require that. We are tribal people, whether we like that or not. And so we have this deep need for community no matter what, and it pulls at us, right? But we also have a deep need for compassion. We want to care and love and be cared for and be loved. And the fact that we can't do those two things, because the caring thing, the compassionate thing, means not being in community, not being around other people, there's a disconnect that most people have never experienced before. Most people have never lived through something like this, where the loving thing is not the communal thing. And so we've got this need to rebel and to strike out, and this need to just go do what we want to do. And so learning what to listen to can be extra challenging. And that's why it's extra important to take a minute and take a breath. So what do I do about the fact that I'm angry and there's this disconnect? What do I do that I don't want to listen to the people that I know I ought to listen to? What do I do about this? And how can I be grateful, thankful for any of it? What should I do? Great questions. Thank you. And like I said, those kinds of questions have been coming from all over the place. Here's what to do. Find a way to extend grace. Now, what does that mean? Grace isn't just the thing you say before Thanksgiving dinner. The idea of grace is something that comes from somewhere bigger than us, that we experience, that we are grateful for. Gratitude and grace come from the same root word. You probably knew that. So what is grace? Grace is, hey, I woke up this morning. I don't know why. I don't know how. It's amazing. Grace is the fact that gravity works. Grace is the fact that people fall in love. Grace is the fact that heroes exist. Grace is that there's something bigger that just, wait a minute, there's something going on here that I can't prove, that defies Maslow and Darwin, something that's just so beautiful and so powerful that I would stand out in the rain for it, that I'd skip a meal for it. You know, there are things in your life that only exist in terms of grace and faith, right? So, what do? I extend grace. That's where gratitude really comes from, and that begins to be the answer to the second question. I think that sometimes people think that being thankful and having gratitude is a passive thing. Well, show me something and I'll be grateful for it, right? Well, I don't have anything to be grateful for. I've been waiting around all day, that kind of thing. But what I want you to know is that gratitude is not passive. It is active. You have to get out into the world, even if you can't leave your house. You have to get out into your life, let's say, and be part of grace flowing through your life. Go do something to participate in the flow of, hey, I woke up this morning and I'm going to use my awake status to do something good. That's how you express gratitude. Gratitude isn't, oh, I'm grateful for this thing that came in. Gratitude is, I am surfing this wave of life and making something better. That's gratitude. What should I be thankful for? Be thankful in action for everything. Go be the grace in your life. The universe has given you amazing things, even if you don't always see them. Go on the hunt for them. But more than that, use them so that somebody else in the world, whether they see you in person or they see you on social media or whatever, somebody else in the world goes, wow, you know what? There are things to be grateful for. Number one, that person. Be that person today. Carry it forward. Listen to your heart and live in gratitude. That's how this works. Thank you so much for sharing these questions. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing to make the world a better place. You can ask more questions by contacting me on social media, and best of all, by Instagramming or tweeting with the hashtag AskDieter. I'll be watching. As always, please like and subscribe, and please, please, please share these videos. You got this.